So I think that's why we're kind of just all mixed about, because we've already done the later show this morning and it's all fun. It's all going to come together anyway. So that is why Ben's not here at the moment, because they're coming up later on today with the warehouse clearance. But what we're going to do is we are Wednesday, we're midweek, so that means we're halfway through, just about halfway through our current Get It, Got It Good. This week's current Get It, Got It Good is all about your scoreboards, your box maker, your envelope box maker. So now you can create your cards, your projects, maybe even your boxes to whichever size and style and depth that you want. You don't just have to work around the size of the envelope, you make your card whichever size you want and work the envelope around that one. £25 here in the UK, $25 in the United States of America. You can go big when it comes to your envelopes, you can go big when it comes to your boxes, you can go big when it comes to your concept cards. That's your current Get It, Got It Good. An absolute must. If you out there hasn't got a hold of any of these, do check them out across on your website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Now later on, when Ben actually decides to come back in, he's going to be joined with Jan with a craft along, all about double-sided dies. So what we're going to be showing throughout Wake Up Call, say we, being the royal we today, is going to be Jan, which is so exciting with a Wake Up Call. It's all about our double-sided layerable Create a Card 6-piece collection. So you're going to see them on your screen just in a moment. I've got some boards to show you too afterwards. So what we've also got as well, which keeping along the lines of the double-sided, we'll show you later on some edgeables. But what we can do now, we can focus on the Create a Cards. There we go. So that is your 6 dies. These are double-sided. So in some ways, it's kind of like 12. Jan will explain them in a bit more detail later on. Double-sided layerable Create a Card, 6-piece collection, £70 here in the UK, $85 in the United States of America. Straight away here in the UK, look at your saving already, $79.94, or for you guys stateside, your saving is $94.70. Head across to the website. If you're in Club Inspire, you're going to be paying even less than that one. So that's what's coming up along when it comes to craft along. But then, as it being Wednesday, I've kind of already alluded to it beforehand, we've got Creative Cravens with myself and Jan. Shorter version tonight on Creative Cravens. It's just an hour, but trust me, it is jam-packed full. So when it comes to Creative Cravens, what we have got is a stamp and die collection. So within these ones here, we'll go in a bit more detail later on in Creative Cravens, but Jan is going to be showing them very shortly on Wake Up Call. So this is our Create a Card stamp and die collection. Now with these ones, you're getting 24 elements in total, because you're getting the actual die, you're getting the image stamp, but you're also getting a few sentiments as well. £77 here in the UK, $83 for you guys stateside. If you're across in Europe, just head across to your website. However, here in the UK, if you are platinum, you're going to be $61.60 for the platinum in the UK, or $66.40 for you guys stateside if you're a platinum member when it comes to Club Inspire. So between that discount as well as that saving you already get, that is such an incredible offer. So that we're going to be showing just very, very shortly, as I say, with Jan, and then again later on and Creative Cravens. Right, before we head across to Jan, let's say good morning to some of you, see what you're all saying. So we've got Lil Craft saying hi from North Yorkshire. Good morning, good afternoon. We've got Susan Elliott saying hi, Craig. Caught someone out there. Susan Elliott saying hi, Craig, Ben, CTV crew and everyone. Caught you out there because he couldn't be bothered to get out of bed. We've got Jan. Hi, Jan. We already said morning, but this is something we do first thing in the morning. So good morning, Jan.
Good morning, Craig. Yes, lovely to be here.
Brilliant. Good to have you here. Good morning, Johnny.
Morning.
There we go. Good morning, Charlotte.
Morning.
Good morning. There we go. So that's your team for today. And then later on, Ben will be taking over from me. Laurie saying good morning from Hillard, Ohio. Christina saying good morning from a rainy Surrey. Yeah, it's a bit rainy here today as well. We've had the sunshine and now we've got the rain. Georgiana is saying good morning, Craig and Jan from Clearwater, Florida. Good morning to you. A lot of comments still coming in thick and fast. A lot of good morning to Craig and Jan. Good morning, Craig and Jan. Hi, Jan. A lot of lovely comments straight away coming in. Keep those comments coming in in as well. This says Wednesday, so it means that it's Win It Wednesday. So all you need to do is get a comment in, and then later on Team Social, they will be picking out one lucky winner who's going to win a voucher to spend on our website to your heart's content. But with also that, it's giveaway galore. And with this one, it's National Craft Month. So do you know what that means? We've got a big bundle to give away. Shall I? What do you think? Should I give a little bit of a tease, Ben? Yeah? Ben? Johnny? Someone, whoever's in the gallery.
Anyone who's listening.
Whoever's there. I don't know. Use it. Someone actually answer me. Let's do it. So, what we're going to do is all you need to do to be in with a chance, comment on Facebook or YouTube, and one lucky winner is going to win all of these ones. So when it comes to this one that we are doing now, the lucky winner is going to be announced with Ben and Jan in Craft Along later on today. So keep your eyes peeled. I know many you'll be watching anyway. Now I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these. I'm going to get them through them thick and fast so we can go across to Jan. But we've got sentiments. Now this is what you're going to win. It's not something like this. It's exactly what you're going to win. We've got our Hello Sentiment stamp and die. We've got our foil press that not only foils but die cuts. We've got another sentiment. We've even got, look at these ones there that we've got, wrap dies. I was about to say belly band there. You know, belly band, wrap die. Don't know where belly band came from. It's not going to fit around my belly. Then thank you, Johnny. We have got a relatively new launch. This is from Sharon Callis. This didn't launch that long ago. That's included. Embossing folder that goes through your mini as well as your go. Jan, I had to look. I've not seen these two before.
Do you know, we had some stuff on the show on Sunday that we hadn't come across, Craig. I think there's a secret stash somewhere.
I think there is.
Ben and I were going to go, Joe and I was going to go and have a look, see if we could find where it came from. But yeah, there's been one or two items that we've not recognised. They look gorgeous. I love the dragonfly. How big are your pockets, Craig?
Yeah. But no, I've not seen them either, so I'm glad it's not just me. We've got celebration dies, we've got a cape, we've got florals that you can be decorating. We've got stamps that came out with, I believe it came out with, was it Tri-Blends or Classiques? One or the other it came out with. We've got them included. We have got our birth month floral stamp and dies that was designed by Sarah Kay. We've also got some Knitwit collection, also a relatively new
So there's some new stuff in there.
There is, isn't there?
It's not been launched long yet.
Really is. We've got an edgeable that's not been seen for ages, and even then it was in short demand. That's included. Huge. I love these ones, Jan. They're huge.
Oh, I
8
like
by 8
these.
stamps.
The big textured ones. Yeah.
Aren't they gorgeous?
I was looking at yours that you'd put on social media. I love what you've done with that one.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I popped it on the other day. Have you seen that background that I'd done with Joe? And I made a card last night.
The paper pad as well.
Still Knitwit collection. We've got the paper pad included. So, as many are maybe already saying, well, Craig, tell me again, what exactly do I have to do? Nothing other than comment. Just comment on Facebook, on YouTube, and one lucky winner is going to be announced later on during Craft Along with Jan and Ben, and one of you is going to get all of these goodies to get crafting with. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip it, and then we're going to go across to Jan, where Jan's going to go over in a bit more detail when it comes to our double-sided. Is it the edgeables that you're doing?
It is, yeah. We're going to start with the edgeables because I'm going to use those later on in our Craft Along. If you've seen posted some bits on social media about what we're going to be doing this afternoon. So I thought I'd just show you some of these. This is actually the one that I'm going to, not this card, but this style edgeable is the one that we're going to use in the Craft Along this afternoon. So you've got those lovely florals on that one. And then we've got that lovely fleur-de-lis, which is the one I'm going to demo with this morning for you to show you how these work. And then the hearts there, just look at this. I mean, talk about wow factor. And you know, anybody that's come across the edgeables before knows there's lots of edges on a card that you can actually use these on. Tops, bottoms, sides, diagonals, across, you name it. They can go whichever way you wish.
Yeah.
Again, that's that lovely fleur-de-lis one there done on the top to make your easel card design there. Let me just lay that one down. And then we've got, I've not got them all here, I've just had a quick go through the box. And then those beautiful butterflies, look again, just used as a decoration there. You know, they don't have to be done on an edge, they are a die at the end of the day. So you can cut that, you could even snip into those individually and use them as like a cascade of butterflies on there. So lots of different ways to use them. So just a little bit of inspiration there. And then I'm going to come back to the fleur-de-lis one. So in your packet, you're going to get your edgeable. It gives you the sizes on them. They're approximately 6 inches tall, and they vary roughly around about 1.5 inches, but obviously some of the designs are slightly wider than others. But yeah, we're going to use this one on our card this morning. I've just realised that yeah, I've got some craft card again, just for the fun of it.
And your craft card, eh?
Yeah, and I also like die cutting on the craft card, Craig, because it's so fibrous.
Yeah.
Again, it's testimony to how good these dies are, thin metal dies that they'll just go straight through the craft card and everything. So just for anybody that's not come across an edgeable before, let's just talk about what we actually mean. So if we can just have a little zoom on there, Charlotte, I just want to look at the edges on here. So if you have a look closely, it starts here with the cutting edge and it follows the outline all the way around the top of the die and finishes at the other side. You've still got all this beautiful detail that will cut into your card, but there's no external cutting edge at the bottom. So that means that part's going to stay attached to your card. So just like you saw with those pieces on the samples, we're going to get that lovely outline on the edge, but keep it embedded into the card. So it starts cutting from here. This is where I would line it up, and again at the other side. And when we look at the other side of this, the fact that they are double-sided, we can actually cut this and cut 2 pieces at the same time. And again, you've got that same idea. You've got the cutting edge, no cutting edge at the bottom, slightly less detail on this side. So this would be my bottom panel. All right, and then the one that's got the more detail on would be the delicate sort of filigree one that lays over the top. And I'll explain what I mean with this when we actually come to die cut. Now, they all follow the same pattern, and the one thing that you will need in order to use these dies, and I've brought mine, my well-loved ones, you will need a set of your double-sided cutting plates. You can just see how loved mine are. You know, I've used both sides of them, just like I do when we're doing our Gemini plates, but I just want you to look how straight they are.
Yeah.
These have been through my Gemini, goodness knows how many times. As I say, you can see the evidence there, the scarring on them, as to how much I've used them on all 4 sides, but they're still really straight. So I'm going to pop those together. And also you will need your 2 clear cutting plates from your chosen machine. Now again, depending on the size of your project, depends on the size of the plate. So I had my large Gemini out earlier, so I'm actually going to use the 2 large clear plates, but I'm just going to use my 2 junior plates inside there, and I'll show you what I mean with this. You can mix and match them. As long as what you're going to cut fits inside here, I can just as easily trap those in between my large plates as I can the junior plates, all right? So let's get building up then. So we're actually going to cut into 2 layers of cardstock at the same time. So I've actually got a piece of my craft card and I've got a piece of sort of coordinating peach cardstock. So one is going to cut one side of the die, the other's going to cut the other side, but I'm going to do it at the same time. So I'm going to bring in one of my clear plates and one of the special double-sided plates. I think we have we got these on the show, Craig? I don't think we have we? But they will be on the website.
Yeah, I don't think they're not actually on the show, but yeah, as you say, they are
Definitely
on the website.
On the website,
all there, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in on here, and again, think about which way around you want them. And if you're not sure which bit cuts which bit, there is a little guideline on the packet. It shows you on here how they actually go together. But if you're not sure, what I would do is cut them in 2 different colour scrap cards. So when you first get your die, pop a couple of different colours on so that you can see which side's which. Idea. Mark them up and keep them in the packet with your die so that you know that this is one side, this is going to go underneath, this one's going to go on top. So generally, as a rule of thumb, the most detailed one is your top one because it cuts away more. So I want that on my craft card. And just for sake of keeping it in position, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of tape. So what I'm doing now, I'm taking the cutting edge is on the outside here against the outside of my card, and I'm just taking it as far across there as it will go before it meets the edge of the card, and then I've centered it. It's more or less the same size as the die, and I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on there. It will sort of cut through it, but that's not a problem. And then the other side is what's going to be your sort of almost like a shadow effect that goes underneath it, and I want that to cut out of the peach. So I'm literally going to pop that one over the top. And again, I don't want it to move. So I'm just got a little tiny bit of tape, and not a lot. And I'm just going to put that piece over the top there. And then you need to sandwich that between your other double-sided cutting plate. I'm not worried about this bit stuck out. There's not going to be any pressure on that bit, so it's not going to damage that bit. And then I'm going to put my other clear plate. Now this could just as easily be your junior plates that go through your machine sideways. But because I've got this one out, I'm going to put all the lot now through there. And because I've just got the junior plates inside, that's where I need the pressure to do the cutting. I'm not worried that there's a gap round all the outside where those junior plates are sat inside it. And then when we take that out of there, we can see that this has actually cut straight through both sides. Yeah. So we've got very little going on that one. If I lift this one up first, you can see that we've got the die cut through this piece here. And if I just snip away, because my little piece of cardstock was slightly longer than the die, I'm literally just going to snip where that die starts and finishes. And you can see there that beautiful detail. And if we get close in on there, you can see that it's embossed quite a bit of detail into the card there, look, as well. Perfect. And that's the bit that's going to show through that top layer when we get them sandwiched together. So just get rid of that little bit of tape there. And then when we look at the other side, get rid of my die. And again, just look. Let me put it, I've got some colour here for you to see it over, look. Pop it over that one. You can see there, look. You see how this one's much more filigree? Yeah, yeah. Yep. So when we actually put these together now, if I go over this one with this piece and then lay this one over the top, you can see that it gives like a shadow. It does. Absolutely gorgeous. They really are. Is. Okay. So I've got that far. Let me get rid of all the rubbish. The other bit as well that I really liked was in technically the waist element. In here, you've got the most gorgeous fleur-de-lis pieces that are actually coming out as part of the waist. I've used a couple of those inside. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we got that far then. We've actually got as far as cutting the filigree layer and cutting the layer that goes underneath. So I've done exactly that at home, and I've stuck them together, added a couple of jewels, and you can see how you've got that lovely shadow underneath with the filigree over the top. So that's going to be the front of my card. All right, so let's move those plates out of the way.
Love that colour choice that you've done with that one.
Peach
like
with just I love the fact that the craft card will adapt itself to whatever you put with it. It's like when I use it sort of with more neutral colours, you're getting a more of a masculine feel. But now with that sort of lovely peachy tone with it, it's giving it a bit more feminine feel. Absolutely. So I've actually made my own card blank for this one. So literally all I've done is made the size of card that I want. And I've made myself a little glue tab, and I'm just going to stick these two together now to make the card. So literally it's sort of like making a little hinge, just line them up, and what I've done is made the front part shorter than the back so that we've got that lovely detail going on there. And then really, bit of matting and layering. Excuse me. So again, you can see that back section, and all I've done is I've used a scrap of my pattern paper, which is what I've made my mats and layers from, just to sort of neaten this up and make it look part of the design rather than it just being sort of the reverse of something. And then again, I'm just going to go to the tape pen. I've just used some of that peach card as my mat. And then I think this is from the Contemporary watercolour pad. So again, that's where the colour choice came from, Craig. It's got all the browns in for the craft card. It's got the peachy tones in it. Yeah. So literally just use that as my sort of colour starting point. And we're going to put this one in the back of the card here, right where it would be good. And I've just left a little border around there. And then this is what I was talking about the actual waist. This was the little fleur-de-lis pieces that come out. How well does that look? Yeah. So again, I've just used a piece of plain cardstock and just used a couple of those bits that are essentially the waist. And this gives you a place to write your message. So I like doing my recycling, I must admit. My producer's just saying, never waste anything. So that's just going to go in the middle of there so that you've got a nice place to write a message. If you don't want to pop it in the middle of there, you can always put your message on the back of your card. True. And then on the front, again, I've done some matting and layering with that same paper pad, and I've just popped some ribbon round it this time. So again, we'll pop that one, and I'm just using my tape pen to actually pop these together. That tape in there is strong enough to stick even with our craft card. So that one's going to go on the front there. And then because I'd got my double-sided plates out, I thought, why not use a good oldie but a favourite, was the double-sided flowers. So I've literally just used some of the scrap card to make one of the flowers. So we're going to pop that one on there, just as a little embellishment on the front. I thought I'll make use of my my double-sided plates while I'd got them out. So we've got the foliage, and this was a previous launch, probably a good, I'll say 12 months or so ago. So a lot of you might have the flowers, in fact maybe longer than that, Craig, not sure. They've been out a while, haven't they?
Were they not one of the first?
Yeah, I think they were one of the first double-sided.
I think they were.
Yeah. So that's going to go on there. And then I've just used a sentiment that I had on my desk at the time. So I'm just going to pop that flat in the back there. And then I've just got a little piece of ribbon to finish off. So we'll put the sending love in there. And then I've just got my hot glue gun on just to pop a little bit of hot glue on there and just add your ribbon embellishment. So basically showcasing that beautiful edgeable there.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And because it's slightly shorter than the one underneath, it gives you that sort of showcase.
It does.
Just to show it off, and then you've got your details inside to match using some of the little scrap pieces out of the die.
So
beautiful, and there's a whole range of different ones of those. They all work the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really nice collection, Craig.
That is so good. It's actually kind of, in some ways, it's kind of like kind of two craft-alongs in a way, because you'll be able to always go back and watch what Jan just done there and followed her steps. What I'm going to say as well now, it's not often that we can say this, but tune in to Creative Cravens later on, because Jan's done another couple of cards where the colour combination is absolutely phenomenal. And I can say that because myself and Jan, we were looking into the future. We actually pre-recorded Creative Cravens earlier on today because the USA have a warehouse clearance with Ben and Sarah. So we've already done that one. Just says, well, while you're watching Creative Cravens, you can still comment. We're not live, but the team's going to be online to answer any questions, anything that you've got. So do stay tuned and watch that one there. But what Jan just showed you there, that's part of the collection, part of the products that's coming up later on Craft Along. So that is double-sided edgeables that you can see on your screen. 8 pieces. As I said from beforehand, they are double-sided like Jan was explaining and showing you. So in some ways, it's kind of like 16 because they're double-sided. But each set actually work in conjunction with each other. £46.50 here in the UK for you guys across. In the United States of America, $53. And even that saving is phenomenal. You can see right to the bottom of your screen, right there. Let's give it a tickle. There you go, right there. That good saving for that one. Oh, Johnny just went, oh, there we go. What are you doing in there, Johnny? Right, so let's have a look. We've got a few comments, a couple of questions as well. Laura Hammer on YouTube is saying, what is the studio address, please? So if you ever want to send in any pictures of what you've been making, whether it's obviously through this show, any other show, only exception would be today with Creative Cravens later on. Other than that, every other show, send your photos in, let us see what you've been doing. You can see it right along the bottom there, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and you never know, you might be able to see your card on the screen. And if you do, and you sell them on any online site, so that you can maybe put a little message saying as seen on TV. You know, you might get an extra couple of quid or two. Why not? Lot of lovely comments, Jan. People saying it's so good to see me and you together, and so good to see you on Wake Up Call on an earlier show. Janice is saying, love all programmes. Thank you to Craig and Jan. Kathy is saying, looking forward to Jan's demo. She's on YouTube. We've got Marie on Facebook saying, Jan does an excellent job explaining concepts. Tazi Pans, I love that name, on YouTube is saying, I've got these, the edgeables, great to see a demo. Sean Davies is saying, I have the edgeables, can't wait to use them. Laura Simmons on Facebook, great to see Jan on an early show. Kathy on Facebook saying, I struggle with getting my double-sided edgeables to come out looking good. Perfect demonstration that Jan just showed you there. even that mini craft along. So always go back on YouTube or our website, and then you can craft along with Jan as well. Keeping in mind, Jan's doing the double-sided craft along later on today on Crafters TV, 3 p.m. here in the UK. Let me check. We will. I just got used to the times, Jan. Just got used to all the times, and then they've all changed.
And then they've made us do them back to front.
I know. Yeah, really testing us today.
We're coming or going, do we?
Really testing us today. So 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, or 7 a.m. Pacific Time for the craft along. I have been reading them all. Just so many are just saying it's lovely to see me and you together, Jan.
Yes, I said this morning, didn't I? I was looking forward. It's been a while. It's been a while, and I am enjoying it, Craig.
Absolutely. So I am. It's just so nice to actually be in Jan's company and work together. We've got Jan Ross on Facebook is saying, what was the size of the final card that you made, Jan?
The size of the final one was, if I remember rightly, 7 by 6. So 7 inches wide by 6 inches tall. So slightly off your normal sizes as far as envelopes, but something like this I would be making something special for it. So if you've got the envelope box creator or even the scoreboards you can make your own envelopes with to put something like that. You might want to make a box to pop it in. But yeah, I must admit when we demo it, we don't always stick to the traditional sizes. So wee bit naughty there.
Nope. And very quickly as well, Jan, I know you did say this, but could you just explain again what was the papers that you used?
The paper was from the Contemporary watercolour pad, a beautiful pad. I know Debbie had it on her craft along a couple of sessions ago, and I'm going to be using it on the craft along this afternoon, which is why it was out on my desk and just reached for it. And it is an absolutely double-sided papers in there. It's a beautiful little paper pad. It should be on the website.
Absolutely, it is. Anything like that you need to see. If you see Jan using anything or any of us, if it's not on the show, always check out on the website and you'll be able to stock up on anything you need. So there you go, Aisha, there was that question answered for you. Again, a lot of these, I'm not specifically reading out your names because you're saying such lovely comments. They are being read and they're being read by the team as well. Any other questions that you've got for while Jan's here? You know, any questions to ask Jan, just ask away. Any ideas, hints or tips, and we will read them out to her as well. Comments still coming on. So whether it's Facebook, whether it is YouTube, get your comments in and we will read them out before the end of the show. Right, what we're going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of a craft day lesson. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lean over. So Jan, do you want to explain to me what you're going to be teaching with me?
You see, our producers contacted him. He said to me, Jan, what do you do in your spare time? And I thought, first question was, what's spare time? But no, seriously, when I do have a bit of time to chill, I love doing a little bit of crochet. I find it very relaxing, very sort of mindful. At this time, we've all got lots of stress going on, and it's just something that helps me to sort of unwind after a day at work or a day prepping and things like that. So at the moment, I'm actually crocheting for my little boy, you know, my little grandson, and I'm making him sort of pram blankets. And this is as far as I've got. So just with wool, it's actually a Serdar wool that I'm using. Was bought in one of our Crafters Companion stores while the stores were open. And it's essentially what's known as a granny square. So started in the middle here. And you literally start crocheting and you just literally go round and round, change the colour wool. You can see where I've tied the new colours in and just keep going round and round and round and round until you get to the size that you want it to be.
Right.
So you can see I've got the edges going on here. It's the same stitch all the way round. So it really is easy to follow. I'm no expert on crochet. I can't do all the little animals. I would love to be able to, but it is just very basic stuff and it's the same stitch. So once you've learned how to do the stitch, it's a case of a few stitches, make a gap, few stitches, make a gap. So I know our Craig's always up for a challenge.
Absolutely.
So I thought we'd have a go at teaching him a little bit this morning and see if we can get you crafting along, Craig.
Let's go for it.
So what I'm going to have to do is just cut my wool off here for a little bit because I want to show you right from the beginning. So I'm going to put my blanket to one side. I've got my wool there.
And Jan knows me all too well because these are my favourite colours, same with what you've just shown there, you know, whether it's mints and teals and duck egg blues.
Yeah, I've got a bit of I've done my pink. I would say the teal colour's probably up there with mine. My bedroom's all cream and teal. So yeah, so you've got you want to open your wool, Craig.
Okay.
All right, and do you know how to make a slip knot?
Is that not a singer or a band?
So literally all I'm going to do on my finger is cross over and make a loop.
Okay.
So you can see I've brought this end of it and I'm literally just crossing it over to make a loop.
Okay.
And then I'm going to fold that loop over the single line.
Okay.
And then pull that one through with my needle to make a stitch on your crochet hook.
Okay.
All right, so I'll show you that again.
Oops.
Okay, so from the end of your wool,
Yep.
I've literally folded it across itself, so the tail end's here to make a little loop.
Okay.
And then turn that loop onto the straight part of the wool.
Got ya.
Pop your hook under that straight part, grab the wool and the tail end, and just pull that through, and you should end up with a, there you go. Pull that tail end tight now, and it should actually tighten up onto your hook. So the secret I find with crochet is not to be too tight. So you want it around the hook, but not so tight that you can't move it.
Got ya.
Okay, and then I'm actually going to hold the yarn now. Don't worry about the little tail end. That's going to sort of crochet away. And what we're going to do is we're going to go round our hook and pull it through that hoop. So I'll show you again. We're just going to hold the yarn. We're going to go under the yarn and hook it onto the... I've got the same colour wool as crochet hook, haven't I? Which is not helping, is it? I've just realised that. Yeah, and then we're going to pull that with the hook of the crochet hook through that last loop.
So am I doing it, going round twice?
So let me just see if I've got a different colour wool in my bag, because that's not helping really,
No,
is
it's not
it?
you, Jan, it's me.
Here we go, look. Let me just, you might be able to see it on a different colour. I just realised when I was looking on the camera then that it was all the same colour. So I'm going to make my slip knot again there. Just pull that through. Get that onto my hook. Right, you might be able to see a bit better there. Is that a bit better? Yeah.
Okey-doke.
So, okay, so I've got my yarn here. I'm going to go under the yarn and put it behind the little hook on the crochet hook. And then I'm going to pull the yarn with the hook through that loop that we've made on the beginning. Okay, so same again, underneath, hook the wool up and then pop it in the hook and pull it through. You're making a second stitch kind of thing. Oh, let's try again, look. Ready? So with your wool.
Yep, so...
Are you right-handed, Craig? You are, aren't
yes.
you? Yeah. So with your left hand, drape the wool over your little finger.
Okey-doke.
Yep. And then sort of, so that you've got like an anchor. So I've literally just gone round my finger and anchored the wool so that you've got hold of it. You've got that sort of like reasonably taut now.
Got ya.
Yep. And then I'm holding the little tail. Yep. So that I'm holding that out of the way, and then underneath to hook your yarn. So pop your hook underneath. So it wants to be reasonably taut, not too loose. Just underneath to get your yarn.
Have I like taking daft pills this morning or stupid pills?
Right, again, get your yarn here, got your hand? Yep. So one over and just get it round that little finger. And then you can hold your yarn reasonably taut with your thumb and finger, yeah?
Right, got ya.
And then what I've done is I've sort of changed it so that I can grab, I'm holding the yarn with my little finger and I've got my thumb and finger on the tail. So everything's reasonably taut.
Yep.
Yep. And then the hook with your right hand under the yarn to hook it up. Yep. And then while you're pulling on that little tail, you're just going to pull it through that hoop, that little loop that you've got left. So under and pull through the hoop, under and pull through the little loop. You've still only got one stitch. I'm not a very good crochet teacher, I've discovered.
Do you know what
it's not helping because we're so far away either. It would be easier if you could see what I'm doing, but obviously we have to keep our social distance in place. So again, under the yarn, all right, and pull through, okay? And then literally, I'm just going to show you this.
You do it, because clearly...
I'll show you the stitch. I'm just going to make a few more of those. So this would be your starting, if you were starting out, this would be your starting row. All right, and then to make the ones that I do for the granny square, I go back into the first stitch, okay? and literally do the same again. I'm going to pull the yarn through and through both of them. All right, so you've got actually both little tiny loop going on there. And then I use what's called a treble stitch. So the treble, is hook the yarn, pull it through. Wait a minute. No, hook the yarn into the middle. I forgot myself then. Hook the yarn again. And it's called a treble because we've got the 3 stitches on there, and I'm going to come through 2 of them and then through the next 2, and you create a stitch.
And it just keeps going.
Underneath, through the middle, pull the yarn through 2 of your stitches, hook the yarn through 2 of your stitches. Okay? Hook your yarn, take it through, pull it through, 2 of your stitches and 2 of your stitches. And it creates, can you see how it's starting to create the actual stitches on here? Which is literally all I've done on my blanket. If I actually carry on here, let me just find where I've just cut the wool. This is where I'd got to on my blanket here. So all I've done is just stretched it so that I know where I've got to here. Okay, so in this case, I'm doing a couple of what we call chain stitches, which are the ones we were doing at the beginning. Okay, and then I'm going to do that treble stitch into the next space. So hook it and pull through 2 and through 2, underneath, through the space, hook it, through 2, through 2,
oh, look how well you're going.
Underneath, hook it, through 2 and through 2. And that makes my little block.
Oh yeah, I've done it!
Have you done it?
I've done it!
Tim, fantastic!
I've just done it!
Just
Isn't that
look
amazing? Isn't that amazing? I've done it. It's totally different colour, that's not the
Matches
point.
your shirt as
Different
well.
shape. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Well chuffed with that one. Well
Bless
chuffed with
you.
that one.
At least you were brave enough to have a go, Craig.
I'll always be up for trying anything, and if clearly that's failed for me, I can always just stick around and do balloon animals. I seem to be good at doing that one. Thank you for that one, Jan. That was really good, although I couldn't grasp it.
Bless
I am
you.
going to blame the fact it's obviously social distancing and the camera, etc., etc.
Yeah, if I was sat next to you, you'd be able to see it a lot easier. Yeah,
Nothing to do with the fact that I
days will come.
It will.
When we
it
can
will.
sit next to each other again.
Focusing on those days. It's nothing to do with me just not being able to do it. Right, so let's have a look and see how everyone is laughing at that part there. We have got, let's go back to where we were a little bit. So we've got Karen on Facebook saying, Jan is so good explaining the little tidbits, I think that's meant to be tidbits, that makes your card making easier. We've got Rosalind on Facebook saying, yes, crochet is my favourite. Now I would love to do a craft along with that one. You never know, we might get some on the website and could maybe do a craft along at some point. I'm just saying, you never know. You know, don't take that as gospel. Always have to watch what I say, you know what happens. Sarah's different. You know, it's the boss, she says whatever, and if she says it, it goes. Doesn't work with me, but you never know. Sarah's saying on Facebook, lol Jan, what's spare time? It's craft time, of course. I know it is. I said to Jan, I said to Debbie Robinson as well, when it comes to time, I have that little bit more luxuriness in the fact of I only live 15 minutes away. You know, Jan and 2 Debbies, all of them have a good couple of hours drive after they've done the shows. So I get that little bit extra time, although I still spend it in here. Kathy on YouTube is saying, I remember crocheting the blankets like when I was small. Don't do crocheting now. Maybe I should get back into it. That'll be interesting if you do. Do let us know. Lot of love for what Jan was just showing you there. Cindy saying, great segment. Have missed the little talk and teaching with the guest. But there we go, perfect one today when having Jan there with the crocheting. A lot of love for that one. Debbie on YouTube, Craig, your facial expressions is priceless. Yeah, you know, some things it does take a while to sink in, and that's clearly one of them. We've got Rosalind on Facebook saying, the terms are different in the US. I have a chart. I use crocheting UK patterns. Obviously, that's just what Jan was just showing you there. And we've got Annie on YouTube saying, when you first start, you automatically hold really tight. Practicing helps ease your grip. Good for you, Craig, to jump in and give it a go. Absolutely. And yeah, a lot of people just agree with what Jan was saying here as well. I had it too tight, you know, didn't need it as taut, etc., etc. So it's all good. And that's what I love with Crafters TV, and the fact that we're so social and interactive instantly. So I've got Jan there just stepping me along, and then you guys that know crocheting is that you can come in and give little hints and tips as well. So the show's not over with just yet, so you can still get your comments in, Facebook or YouTube, get across and get your comments in to say hi, maybe a couple of questions you've got for Jan. We've got a bit of time where we can answer them before we both go straight into the craft vault. Doesn't sound quite right, but we're both going to go into the craft vault for half an hour so you can see the social right along the bottom when it comes to the bottom there. So what we're now going to do is we're going to focus on something that's coming up later today that me and Jan have already done. So Creative Cravens, you get to see it later on today. So just quickly about that, Sarah's doing a USA warehouse clearance later on. That's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time, 12 noon Pacific time. So UK time, it crosses over slightly with Creative Cravens. So 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. You're going to get an hour of Creative Cravens with myself and Jan that we pre-recorded earlier on today. Still get social. The team are going to be there to answer any questions that you have, so you're not going to miss out. A few of us will be dotting in as well if any questions are needed answered. But what we're then going to do is we had a little bit of a look earlier on that you'll see later on in Creative Cravens. This is our Create a Card stamp and die collection set. So you can see it on your screen right now. You've got 24 elements in total, and you are £77 here in the UK, $83 for you guys stateside. Really good saving within that one there. If you know and love our Create a Card dies, you're going to absolutely adore these ones, because these take the Create a Cards they take their Creator cards to the next level. What I was away to say is later on, do make sure you tune in to Creative Cravens, because Jan also done an incredible demo when it comes to the stag one. But what we're doing is we're going to keep an eye and we're going to keep focused on this one. And Jan's got something else that she's going to be showing us when it comes to these die sets, aren't you, Jan?
Yep. Again, lovely idea with this. Like you've just said, Craig, taking it to that next level. So the idea is that you get the die, the metal die in the set, and then you get the stamp that's been sized perfectly to stamp over that metal die cut that you've cut out. So this is the actual, the church there. I've just got a couple to show you. And then we'll go through that concept so that you can see what I'm actually talking about. You've got that gorgeous rose frame there, absolutely beautiful, and again there's a little bit of acetate just behind that one to make the little window there, but that one's lovely with the apertures from point of view popping a sentiment in there. And then I'm actually going to use the butterfly one, so again you can see we've got that one used in conjunction with an edgeable from an older range there, you know, so don't be afraid to mix and match your products. And the one that I like about this is, you know, I'm going to use it this way. I'm actually going to use it in sort of like a landscape fashion, but it looks just as nice on the portrait there as well. So just a couple of samples to show you there. And then this is what you're going to get in your pack. So this one is the butterfly frame. And we've got a little bit of info at the bottom, tells you the size of them, the 6x4 inch frames, and you've got the metal part plus the stamp equals your finished, with a bit of colouring going on in there, your finished design. So the metal work there, like I say, gives you like a 6x4 inch design, and that's what I've started. I just caught him out my eye then. He's like playing with the wool. I'm like, what's he doing there? There's like wool everywhere.
I was just trying to tidy it up for you and just re-roll it up.
I thought, what's he doing? I could just see all this wool going on. So yeah, we've got that lovely 6x4 inch frame, and then you get that lovely stamp. And I mean, this is, you know, in its own right, you could just use the stamp on its own to stamp out an image if you wish. But just watch how these have been designed so that they line up. So the first thing we need to do then is actually cut out the frame. Now that I've not put myself any card in, that would be good, wouldn't it? So let's just pop, that's where I was stamping the other day. Let's just cut a piece out of there so that we can stamp it.
I think someone's been playing with their cardstock down there, eh?
Yeah, I was using it the other day as to catch me stamping on
were you?
Jan was here.
I thought I'd seen that engraving on the back of the counter. Jan,
there we go.
Jan was here. Jan for life.
So just a thin metal die, all right? So it's your normal combination of plates for this. If you're using the Gemini, These will fit through the Junior as well, and I would imagine, looking at that, I've not got the midi, Craig, but I'm thinking they'll go through the midi as well, won't they?
Absolutely, yep. 100%.
So again, I'm just going to tape this down so that it doesn't move while it's in the die cutting machine. So normal sandwich on there, plastic shim, magnetic shim, top plate, and we're going to whip it through the Gemini and cut out that shape. So this gives you the background shape, and then the next thing that we're going to need is to bring the stamp in to over stamp that shape. So just to bring that through there, and we're going to make this one into a shaker card today. Just I just thought while I was making it, I thought, oh, that would look nice as a shaker there. Yeah. So we're going to pop a few shaker pieces inside. So take that one away. You can see how all the bits are just coming straight out of there. And when we lift this off here gently, take those middle bits out. Again, let me just get some colour for you to show you that on. You can see that lovely frame. Just excuse the bit of stamping here, because obviously that wouldn't be in your way. But the beauty of this one is all those gorgeous butterfly wings are left free, so that when you've finished your design, you can pop these up to get the 3D elements. So each one of them, even the little tiny baby ones, the wings are still free so that you can pop them up. So that's stage one. Stage two, if you're going to start, I mean, they look just lovely like that. But stage two would be to use it in conjunction with the stamp. So again, I've got my stamping platform at the ready.
What was actually just a way to say there, sorry Jan, just to say with that die there is how thin the lines are, but you've still got that crisp cut.
And the bit that amazes me, Craig, is that the stamp is equally fine, that it's actually going to stamp over those little lines. It's absolutely stunning. So I like to just line mine up so that I know whereabouts it is on the grid, and I tend to use my logo as my sort of anchor there. So pop that where it's going on there. I've just chosen a plain black finesse ink pad, but it can be whatever colour. Just be mindful if you're going to colour in what your colouring medium is. So whether you use an alcohol marker or a watercolour marker, just make sure you choose the right ink for it. So again, you've got a lovely big stamped area, and we're going to just lay this over the top, make sure it's the right way round, and I'm going to focus on a couple of points. So probably the butterfly up at the top here and something down in this corner. And if you've got those 2 points in the right place, the rest of it will line up beautifully for you. Just literally falls into place. So you shouldn't be able to see any of the detail because the stamp's covering it up. So just to move my magnets a wee bit, because that bit's not quite as big.
Do you recommend the larger stamping platform with the magnetic discs for this one?
I find it easier. It is doable with your other platforms, and what I tend to do with that is I mark, if I'm using it would fit on the 6x6 stamping platform and the stamping mat. I tend to mark my stamping mat where the feet would go, so that I know where I'm going to position it back down again, because obviously you need to make sure. With this, I know now that my stamp is in exactly the right place to fit over that stamp. Okay, if you've not got the magnetic platform and you're using the purple stamping mat with a smaller stamping grid, as I say, I tend to mark on my stamping mat itself where the feet position, so that you can put that right down. I've got a little circle on my mat so that I know that those feet go there on the stamping mat, and you've got that sort of design. Yeah, great idea. So literally we're just going to ink up, and when I've got a big stamp, I tend to sort of just rub over the top. As long as you've got a firm ink pad, I wouldn't do this with the pigment inks with the sponge, because it would sort of go everywhere. But with the felt pads, get the ink down there so that you can see where it is, and then tap. You also want that tapping action so that it releases. It encourages the ink pad to sort of, you're giving it a message that you need to release a bit of ink there. So make sure you've got it all inked up beautifully, and then make sure you're the right way round. So I've got my Crafter's Companion logos there to match. Sit it back in its track, and I know now I can just literally stamp, because I've done all the lining up work. I know that it's going to go in the right place. Give it a second for that ink just to transfer onto your card. Press it all the way around, and then when we take that away, you've got that beautiful stamped image.
Oh my word.
But if we just have a look, just come and have a zoom in on here. Look where these, look how fine.
Oh my gosh.
The lines are, and yet you've stamped right over the top of it. Right here, look. Absolutely stunning. And that work's been done for you, so you don't have to worry about that side of it. That's all being done in production. Now, you could leave it there. You could just go for black and white with the monochrome look, absolutely beautiful. But again, I actually brought some colour into mine, and I've just set sort of very, very pastel shades here. Lilac and lemon, I thought were very sort of spring. Bit of green for the foliage. I've put some acetate on the inside there, and I've popped some foam tape on at the ready. As I say, we're going to turn it into a shaker card. Now, I've actually stuck my large butterfly down, and I'll explain why in a second, but I've left the others so that when we finish we can lift. Can you see how the wings actually lift up? Okay, so that's as far as we've got. So I've got my background layer is going to be the card with my mat on, and this is our Centura Pearl. I think it's lavender. Again, I've used some of those little butterflies on the inside for my piece where I'm going to write. And I always like to do the inside. It gives your card stability because you've got weight on the back of it as well as the front. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to create this on here. Now, I will let you into a little secret. You might be thinking, well, what's going off here? I'll be honest. If you look at the edge of my design, I was gutted because I did all the colouring and I left it to dry, and I'd left it touching my baby wipe. So it started, and I was gutted. I came back and I thought, I haven't got time to redo it. So I've got a trick to cover it up. All right, so what we're going to do is pop the shaker pieces in. I've made a little shaker mix, and I like to put these on here. If you put the shaker pieces inside this one, and then I'm trying to work out whether I'm straight or not, putting this over the top. So I'm actually going to put my shaker pieces on here, and then put the frame over the top. So I've just got a bit of all sorts going on in here, just to put in the middle. A bit of bling, probably more than I need. I'm a bit extravagant. Okay, so we'll just do that, and then we've just got to do the decoration. So I've just pray that my tape is with me. Here we go. Everybody say a prayer. Oh, it always lets me down when I'm on air. Oh,
it's always the same.
2 or 4.
Home, everything works fine.
3 or 4.
Die cut's fine, release is fine, you
Here
go
we
live.
go, look. We're good.
Hey.
All right, so pop all the little pieces into the middle, and then I'm going to put this over the top and stick that down so that it's central on my panel. Okay, and all those pieces are now trapped inside, so we've got our shaker element there. And then just to cover up my little faux pas, I've just made a frame just to sit over the top of it, and you would never know. If I hadn't have told you, you would never know that it's actually. So I'm just going to quickly stick that down, and then I've got a couple of embellishments for the top, and that's your stamp, your creator card stamps and dies. So that one is going to disguise my little wet white faux pas. It's not covering up any of the design. And then I stamped it again, did a bit of colouring again, and the reason I stuck the large butterflies down was I've done them as like a topper.
Okay.
So a little bit of decoupage, and I'm just going to stick those in the middle and actually pop these over the top to give a bit more dimension to it, like so. And then if you want to create a sentiment for it, you've actually got on your stamp set, you've got congratulations and hello with this one. So I've just stamped out the hello, and we're just going to pop that one up in that top corner there.
Oh, look at
Okay,
that.
so again, you've got that lovely, just need that glue to dry on those, but you've got that lovely sort of shaker design going on. That stamp, which blows me away every time I use them, that they all line up with the card underneath. And then you've got inside there just your little space to write. And the butterflies were what were left over after I'd recoloured the top one, so I've just snipped them out of the design to use as an extra embellishment. So yeah.
Wow, that's incredible demo.
Really
With
pretty.
so many different tips in between there, you know, whether if you do get a little bit of ink where you don't want it with a baby wipe, anything like that, ways around it. Such a gorgeous card within these ones here. Couple of questions, going to announce the Wednesday winner. We've got, here we go, I'm looking at my wrong bit, a few comments where we've got, Lisa on YouTube is saying, I've got the Big Seam Creator Card dies, are these different? Yeah, so these actually launched before the Big Seam Creator Card dies. Big Seam Creator Card dies are just dies. whereas what Jan was just showing you and also coming up in Creative Cravens are dies with the stamps that match. So it's actually the stamps that does all the decorating, and then the die does the backdrop, but you could use them separate if you wanted to. Still a lot of love for me and you together this morning or afternoon, Jan.
It's like a reunion, isn't it?
One of the things a lot of people are saying that they are loving us both together. They're loving your demonstrations with the explanations.
Thank you.
And they're loving my presenting style going back and forth. So thank you so much. Bless you. That's so kind of you to say. A lot of love. I love it when the presenters show tricks to hide mistakes, because it happens to everyone. Absolutely.
It does. And I'm not afraid to say that. That's why I wanted to show it you, Craig, because it does happen to us all. You know, even though we do this as a job, mistakes happen.
Of course it does.
And rather than throwing all that hard work away, think your way around it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And it makes you feel good at home to see that it does happen to us as well.
Yep.
Probably more than me. But we'll own it. We absolutely own it. Right, so don't go far, because coming up in a wee moment, we are going straight into the craft vault. I'm going to stay here. Jan's going to stay there with me, and we're going to do an action-packed half an hour. But we have got still the remaining day to go on Crafters TV. So what we have got later on today, which after Craft Vault, going to be the next show, which is Craft Along with Jan and also Ben. I think he's in the building eventually. I think I've seen him in. So that one is going to be 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Go across to Jan's Facebook or Insta, as well as Crafters Companion. Have a look at the little list that you need if you're wanting to craft along with Jan. It is all there, as well as a picture. Then what we're going to do is 7 p.m. here in the UK, or 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. We're going into a 1 hour Creative Cravens with myself and Jan. It has been pre-recorded. Still get your comments in with any questions. They'll still be answered, simply because at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 noon Pacific, which happens to be 8 p.m. here in the UK, Sarah and Ben, they're going to be in the next studio doing a USA warehouse clearance. So it's just going to be the 1 hour Creative Cravens. But trust me, because we've already done it, it's a really fun one. I really enjoyed it with Jan, with a lot of good ideas and techniques. Let's announce our winner for our Win It Wednesday. So we are going all the way through. So let's have a look. So the winner of the voucher is Teresa Millen on YouTube. Hey, congratulations, brilliant. Rightio, so I believe, I want to say that we will contact yourself. So actually, there we go. No, do the flip. Do you know what? Just in case, I believe that's the case, but just in case, what I want you to do, Teresa, is if you just email us prizes at crafterscompanion.com. You can see it right there, and just say, you won the Win It Wednesday voucher with myself and Jan, and we will pop that across to you. If they might get in contact with you beforehand, but either way, playing it safe, and your details will be there. Thank you so much for your company during this wake-up call. Thank you so much to you, Jan, for popping in. I'm saying thank you very much. We're not going far. If you need a little bit more information about our Club Inspire, me and Jan are away to get sorted, and we're both going to be back in a wee moment or two after you've watched this. Bye.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
Good afternoon, good morning to you guys stateside. Here we are now straight into the craft vault. Absolute pleasure to have your company. It is so good. A little bit of a different craft vault in the fact of I'm here, but we've got Jan. If you've been watching with Wake Up Call this morning, afternoon, you'll have seen Jan was with me throughout the full show. Hi Jan, you ready to go?
Honestly, this is real good fun, honestly. It's my first wake up, it's straight into Craft Vault, and I'm loving it, Craig. It's great to be back working together. I've missed our little team.
I have
I really have.
I have as well, and a lot of lovely comments in Wake Up Call about us being back together again. So we are going straight in for half an hour. We're going to delve right in when it comes to the craft vault. Everything throughout this next half an hour, when it comes to the craft vault, you're going to be saving up to 45%. So let's kickstart it with our staycation stamp and die collection. 163 elements in total. You've got the stamps, you've got the dies. It's all about the staycation, which, let's face it, at the moment, that's exactly what we are doing. £35 here in the UK, £35.50 and $43 for you guys stateside. Nice little saving, you can see at the bottom there. Then what we're going to do is show you the butterfly alphabet and numbers, and these are with stamps as well. 89 elements in total, $52, no it's not, correct that Craig, £52 and 17 pence here in the UK, $70.17 for you guys stateside. Then we're going, the Peacock mini collection with 24 elements in total. Adore this a collection. £21.57 for here in the UK, $29.28 for you guys stateside. Then going straight into these lovely cut and emboss folders, classic everyday folders, 6-piece in total, £41.56 here in the UK, $47.96 for you guys stateside. As I always like to say as well, you guys across in Europe, you're not left out. Go across onto your website, crafterscompanion.eu, and you'll find your prices with your Club Inspire prices there as well. Also goes for .co.uk and .com. You'll find your Club Inspire, because even although it's a craft vault, you still get your Club Inspire as well. I know, awesome. But what we're going to do, let's go straight on. We're going to stay with a staycation, and these ones are so much fun. Really, really fun with these ones. And Johnny has said in our ear that is very busy for these, which I am not surprised. These are then going to cover many different staycations, whether you can see on this one being Happy Camper. So we have got the tent, we've got the little guitar, if you're doing a little bit of music around the campfire, which you've got the log, the fishes, all these different ones to build up your own scenes within these ones. Some sentiment as well. That is part of this full bundle that I'm showing you. 50 elements in total, including the stamps and the die. Use them together or use them separately. Maybe your Pebeo drawn gum, do your masking techniques if you wish. That's just one of them. Then we're going into the Life's a Beach. Now personally this one is my favourite with my hometown being on the beach. 34 elements within this pack alone. We've got the ice cream van, we've got the chalet, we've got the windbreaker. Look at the ice creams in that. Could be any ice cream you want. Strawberry for me. But we've also got the scenes right at the top here that you could be creating, as well as sentiments, but that one is also included. Then what we're going on to, the road trip. Now this one is certainly very much good old USA for me, thinking jumping in the camper van and traveling one end of America to the other. camper van, you've got the deck chair, you've got the little paddling pool, you've even got the little flamingo as well as a few other elements, including the sentiments, and a few of these you actually use separately if you wish, and they're going to create different actual backdrops. But that one is your road trip, 39 elements in total with that one. And then we have got the simple life. So this one, very much around the camper van, but the old traditional style of your caravan with the deck chair as well as the bike, the sun, could be the moon if you want to. Nice little scene along the top, including the sentiments, 40 elements in total with that one there. This is where what you've got is 163 elements in total. Everything I showed you there, £35.50 here in the UK, $43 for you guys across in the United States of America. But what we're going to do, this is, so far this one here is at the best ever price when it comes to the staycation. So certainly if you've not already got it, worthwhile thinking about. And I know Jan's got some ideas when it comes to these ones here, don't you, Jan?
I do. I'm just looking at my bits and pieces, and I'll explain what I've done, because I think it's the day for mistakes, I think, today.
Is it?
But it'll give you the same idea. So I chose Life's a Beach, and I'm just looking at what I've got next to me, and I think I've picked up the wrong demo pack. Yes, so I can put you a card together, or I could stamp some of these elements out. Shall we stamp some of these and die cut these? Yeah, because I'm just looking at those and thinking, they're not on my stamp set. Yes, I've got mixed up with one of my other collections. So, what you get for your money then? Life's a Beach. All right, I love this. Honestly, I'm with you, Craig. I mean, I don't live that close to the beach, but we've got our caravan up near the beach, and the park's closed at the minute. We're really missing it. We do spend a lot of time up there when we can get up there, and just like walking down the beach, lovely. So, what we've got then in there is a full set of metal dies, and then you also get the coordinating stamps to go with it. All right, so you've got that ice cream van in there, typically sort of the, sort of symbolic of the seaside, same as the little beach hut there as well. You could, depending on how you coloured this in, it could be a little shed, the windbreak there, you've got that gorgeous scene in the background, and then you've got lots of little elements to actually to play with. So let's have a look what we actually mean then. I need some cardstock. I'm just going to grab some from lower down.
These are so good for your memory books, of course, your scrapbooking pages, but straight away, front of cards.
It is just sort of decoration, really. And like you said, if you were doing a scrapbook of the seaside, some great elements to stamp out and have a play with. So the idea, again, you can stamp first and then die cut, or you can die cut first and then stamp, whichever way. What I would suggest, if you're new to this, is have a go at both and see which is your preferred way. You'll normally find that people fall into both categories. So either way round, you can actually stamp out your image, pop the die round it, and then cut it out, or vice versa. You can die cut first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my little beach hut on there, and we'll go for the little brolly and the chair as well. I think they might both fit on. See if they fit on there. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we need some ink. And again, just be mindful of what you're going to colour with. So if you're going to colour with alcohol inks, you want an alcohol-proof ink for your line art. And if you're going to colour with a watercolour medium, like our sparkle pens or our aqua blends, aqua markers, you want an ink pad that is waterproof. Okay, so let's just pop those on there and literally stamp them. I've not got my stamp mat, but if you want to pop the stamp mat underneath, just to give you that little bit of extra pressure there, and then just stamp those out onto your cardstock. Oh, this is why we need the stamp mat underneath.
Got you.
Practice what you preach, Jan.
See, when you colour these in, Jan, do you have a preference of whether it's alcohol-based or water-based, like aqua pens or that? Or
probably, I would say 75% of the time I'm an alcohol marker girl. I tend to use my watercolour-based mediums more for making backgrounds and things. So even my aqua markers, I like to use with the glycerin to make backgrounds and things like that. So if I'm colouring, I would say a good 75-80% of the time it is an alcohol colour. So again, this is a great way to show you the difference actually with the stamp mat. Because what happened before was I had a hard stamping platform and a hard glass mat. So when the two have made contact with the card, there's been no room for any give. So once I've put the stamp mat underneath, can you see the difference there?
Absolutely.
And it's sort of a great demo without even realising, because obviously the stamp needs that sort of give to be able to transfer its image. Here there wasn't enough give because the two hard surfaces wasn't allowing it. So if you've had trouble with your stamping, grab yourself one of the stamp mats, should be on the website there. And then again, you can colour these in with whatever medium, but what we've done is we've given you the dies that fit perfectly around these. So let's just pop these on and we'll just die cut these out. I'm going to cut my piece of card down so that I'm just working with the pieces that I've got there.
And these dies are great for even just maybe like apertures on their own, you know, if you're wanting a specific shape. Honestly, apertures, you could.
I love this set. I really do love this set. It's got so much scope, and if you're buying them as a set, you can mix and match them as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't mean that you've just got to stick to one particular set. No. So yeah, just line up with your image that you've stamped and then pop your die around that outside. So make sure you're right over the top of it. Just nudge it into place so that you can see the image on the inside there, and then tape it in place because we want those to stay where they've been put. So again, I've still got my large Gemini plates out, but we'll just run them through there. But all these little images will go through your mini. If you do them individually, you could actually sit and play with just the mini, which brings a whole new world of crafting, because I sometimes sit in my chair in the lounge at night and I'll cut pieces out using my little mini. You don't necessarily need to be in your craft room at your craft desk. So you could actually get these stamped out during the day, sit and cut them out and sit and colour at night while you're watching TV, something like that. That's what I tend to do when I'm colouring, if I'm not crocheting. Here we go. So let's just pop those out of there. And you can see now that we've got those lovely images ready to colour. You know, if you like fussy cutting, then there's no reason why you can't snip round
you've just
these.
taken the words right out my mouth.
With your scissors, yeah. I do a lot of fussy cutting, I must admit. But again, you know, you can see those are there just to give you that sort of, that look. But again, if you prefer to take your little snips, and where's my piece that I've just stamped by mistake? You know, you can just as easily, and I tend fussy cutting, I always keep my scissors, I don't know about you, Craig, keep them on one side. So that you can go just up to it, but not quite. And I always leave that little whiteboard around it. I just think it gives it a nice finish. And it stops you cutting away from past, you know, experience. It stops you chopping the line art away from your stamps. But again, tips for fussy cutting would always be to cut down what you're working on so that you've not got much card left. And literally just, you know, but again, if you've got the dies there, may as well use them. But you can literally cut round them as well if you wish. And then, as I say, whatever colouring medium you want to take, you can actually have a go. And I was going to put them on a lovely card for you. So we'll have to just imagine that I've coloured them in, because I've just realised, I'll be honest, I've picked up the best of British, which is also, you know, I mean, I've got the little sandcastle, I've got the bucket and spade. So if you've got that collection, this is a great mix and match, because you could have put this on with the elements from that one. And when I was looking at it thinking, they're not on my stamp set. But yeah, there we go. So I've not actually got the final card made, but you get the idea. You know, we could have gone with these just the same there. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that one, Jan. Because, yeah, you can just take what Jan's just done idea-wise, mix and match any of the other ones. So that was your staycation. That was your stamp and die collection, where in total you're getting over 163 elements, £35.50 here in the UK, or $43 for you guys in the United States. Thank you for your comments and questions coming in. We'll have a quick look just shortly. But what I want to do is let's actually show you I'm going to show you the product first and then the boards. Now these ones, 80% have gone with these ones here. Very, very low stock. I'm not surprised, absolutely. I am surprised to see it in a craft vault, that is for sure. So within these ones here, what you're going to be doing is saving 40%. So this is your butterfly alphabet and numbers. This has got the nest and die to sit behind it. So that is your larger letters that you can see here. Even getting the numbers. So these have got the numbers and the letters with the little butterflies are also included with the wings that pop out. Then to create a decoration backdrop, you've got your two stamp sets as well, which to be honest with you, I would be using on their own as well. So that's what you're getting. Let's just show you the kind of idea as to how they're going to look. So this one just being the larger letters that you can see here. So what you have then got, no way, Johnny, really? So wow, it works out that the large letters alone, they're going to be £59.99, so it kind of works out that you are getting the other ones for free as well. So with these ones, what you've got, for instance, let's look at the letter A. So your top layer is the A with the butterflies that stamp out, and this black layer on the back, that is basically your nested mat and layer die on the back. And then what you can do is the little butterfly wings, you've got butterflies on the stamp set, each one that's going to coordinate with those die cut pieces. So this is where you can then, of course, stamp them. So there is your alphabet, there is your numbers. Awesome for your home decor, where I actually done a home decor item in the past using the rose gold collection, so you can use them that way. But then what we can also do, you might actually want to use them in conjunction with these ones. This one is being your peacock collection. So this is your peacock mini collection with 24 elements in total. So we have got our flourishing frame die within this one. Then what we've got is our 6x6, our plumage panel embossing folder, we can see here. We're also giving you the sentiment stamps that you've got on here, and then we're also giving you more stamps as well, including some sentiment, all included, all in total. Just to say as well, the embossing folder as well as the frame will go through your Gemini Junior and your MIDI. It just depends on the cardstock that you're using. If you're using big cardstock, you'll need to use their large Gemini or any other large die cutting machine. So that one being the Peacock Mini Collection with the 24 elements in total, £21.57 here in the UK, $29.28 for you guys stateside. Then what we're going to do, we're not even finished there, we're now going to be bringing in, and I am always surprised to see these on things like a craft vault or that, because these are, don't know about you, Jan, but these are ones that I use time and time again.
Go-to product, aren't they? Yeah. Do you
Absolutely.
have certain products that you keep sort of within reach, Craig, and not filed away? Yeah.
Exactly.
Nesting dies, these, things like that. They've got a particular stamp set that I use a lot. Just live in a box at the side of my desk, yeah.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Now with these ones that I'm showing you, it's working out that you're going to buy 4 and you're going to get 2 free. Now, you're also getting an extra 20% off as well as the buying the 4 and getting 2 free. Basically, do you know what? This is as well, you know, get them away. I actually don't, Ben's in, I don't think Sarah's in just yet. I think she's seen to the boys, but don't tell her. But yeah, with these ones here, we're going to be showing you, and so I'll explain some in just in a second, but we have got thanks, we've then got love, we've then got home, we've then got friend, we've then got congrats, and then we have then got birthday. Every single one of these sentiments are a sentiment that you are going to need or use, if not on a weekly basis, a daily basis. That's why I'm always surprised to see these ones in here. And as Jan said as well, they make really good cards in the fact of run them through again. They will go through your MIDI, as well as your Junior, depending on the card size. Run it through a very quick card. That's all you need to do. Does the embossing, also does the die cutting at the same time, and then the bits that die cut out, keep a hold of them, use them elsewhere as well. But I know, Jan, you were having a wee bit of a play with these as well, weren't you? When
Do you know, they're I think these are nice for a quick card. They really are. It's sort of, you don't need to do an awful lot to them to actually make a card. They remind me a little bit, they're sort of the embossing folder, cut and emboss folder version of a creator card die.
Yeah.
Because you literally don't need to do much more than pop it through the embossing folder. So I've just been trying to find my Junior plates because they will fit nicely on there. So I'm going to use Classic Thanks. So you get an element of embossing on here, and then you get the die that cuts out the word. So again, you know, that leaves you open to, I'm going to pop a different colour card behind it so that you can see. All right, so we're actually getting the cut and emboss. And if you've not come across one of these before, the cut and emboss means that we've got embossing detail and a die embedded into the folder. So you can see here we've got our traditional raised element of the emboss folder and the recessed element, which traps the card and makes that lovely raised effect. But we've also got a die embedded into it. And just a word, another little tip, if you haven't seen these before, this is actually foam inside the letters. It's not cardstock left over from a previous cut. don't try and poke that out. It's there for a reason, to help release those letters when they've cut. Normally we would take our die cuts and we would poke the letters through, but you can't do that on an embossing folder. So don't be tempted to try and dig this out thinking it's cardstock. So all I've done, piece of white stamping card, and I've actually added some ink with my, I think this was the plum jam again, just to match the paper that I was going to use as decorative paper. So all I've done is that literally ink on the mat, mop it up with my card, dried it off, and this is what we ended up with. And then I've just sort of shaded around the edges. Cut it down to the size of your folder. And again, you know, it doesn't even need to be as involved as that. You could literally, I'm going to use some glitter card behind this. You know, you could just emboss the glitter card. You could just emboss a piece of plain card. It doesn't have to be an ink background. A cut and emboss folder behaves just the same as a normal 2D folder. So with our Gemini, we would just need the 2 clear plates. So if you have other machines out there, you would need whatever plates you use to actually do an embossing folder. So I'm just going to put my Gemini plates in this time, my junior plates, just for a little bit of speed through there sideways. This is the combination I use most at home, Craig. I have my big Gemini out, but I use the smaller plates more often than not.
Yeah, you do like using them that way, don't you?
Yeah. So when we open this up now, we've got that lovely embossed detail here. But if I just pop these letters out, and it's almost a twofer as well.
It is.
Because if you save the letters, you can make a second card. So literally, again, without actually worrying about what's happening there, we've just got that little bit there at the edge that's not, let me just snip that bit. I maybe didn't have it straight in the folder there. So yeah, if you save these bits, you've actually got the letters there to spell the word, and you can go, I've just got the T in there, and make a second card with sort of what's technically the waste in this one. So that's the embossing done. And you can see on here we've got that lovely, if I just tilt that, can you see how it's got this gorgeous scrolled emboss feature in it as well? Really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to pop that onto some of our glitter card, and this is the ivory glitter card, just so that that shows through those letters there. Really, really pretty.
It
so
really
again,
is.
because I'm going on to glitter card, I'm going to use my wet glue, and this is our tacky glue. And if you're going on to glitter, you want something that's going to soak in to the actual glitter card. So sort of a double-sided tape just sits on the top. And personally, I don't know about you, Craig, I don't think you get quite as good a stick than you do with a wet one. I don't know, do you prefer the wet glue on your glitter card?
Well, what I always do, because I do, as many know, and I know you know as well, Jan, I do like my double-sided tape. But exactly as what you said, I'll still use my double-sided tape to give that instant stick. But what I do, before I adhere it, I put a layer of tacky glue on top of the double-sided tape. The double-sided tape gives it the instant stick, and exactly as Jan just said, the glue then just soaks in and dries onto the card. So really, you could do away with the double-sided tape and just do what Jan done, but it's just it's kind of like a preference, isn't it?
It is, and we've all got our own. This is why I think it's nice to have different members of the team demonstrating, because we've all got different ways of doing it, but end up with the same finished product. So yeah, I'm literally just going to mat and layer this now onto some card there, and then I've cut a separate piece of card which I've thrown on the floor. And I was thinking of doing like a double mounting, so that's where the colour comes in. So I've just got to stick this together, Craig, and then I'll show you the finished sample when we've done. Okay, so I'm just going to use that tape runner to stick that piece on the front of there. So that one's just cut onto there. And then I'm going to stick that one, and you could raise this up on your foam pads if you wanted to. I've kept it flat on this occasion, but you could actually put, this one would look nice raised up on foam pads there. Yeah. But just to keep that one flat.
I have to
and
say,
then I've already put, sorry?
No, carry on.
Yeah,
no,
I've already put some tape on there. And I'm just going to stick that one behind here.
Oh, perfect. No, I was just about to say there, I thought, who's the way to go first here? A lot of lovely crafters at home, they always say that I do really nice colour choices and combination. Yours as well today, Jan. These have been awesome. Even a couple of them I wouldn't have thought of either. colour
Again,
combinations.
as I say, I think it's nice that there's
It
different,
is.
you know, it's sort of like we are a team.
Yep.
And we're a team for a reason, you know, because we all bring something different to the game. But again, you've got that double fold there.
Look at that.
Just with a couple of little embellishments and nice and quick.
Yeah.
You know, you don't necessarily need that. It would have made a card in its own right,
Yep.
just like that, with a couple of embellishments.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, as Jan said, she created her own background herself. You know, that could have been pattern paper or maybe some of the marble adorable scoreable from Hunky Dory, anything like that. But it could be really quick, but really, really effective. Right, just in a moment, we'll have time just to say hello to a few of you, because I know your comments have been coming in. But with it being National Craft Month, all of this month, March, certainly, well, it's right across the globe, isn't it? It's the USA as well. What we're doing is we've got a big giveaway that's going to be coming up as well. So got one every single day. Now what I'm going to do is let's show you what I've got within my pile here. We have got an abundance of dies and stamps and products basically. These ones here are being in edgeable style, so we've got two within this one here. But then what we've also got is part of Knitwit collection, the Blue and Grace collection. We've got sentiments, we've also got stamp and dies. Create your own decoupage if you want by colouring them and die cutting them multiple times. There's these two as well, so what I'm showing you is what one lucky winner will win. And these are a couple that even me and Jan hadn't seen before, so you're going to be getting them as well. Lovely little ice cream one there. Boss and folder that's going to go through your mini or your go. A relatively new launch stamp from Sharon Callis that we can see here with laughter. We have got, look at that, wrap dies as well. Another sentiment die that you can see here. We've got one that was also a recent launch designed by Sarah Kay. Birth month floral stamp and dies. We've got some other stamps here that you can be colouring in with your chosen medium. Dies as well that's going to go through your mini or your go. We've got a foil press stamp and die that you can see here, a sentiment stamp and die that you can see here. We've even got 12 by 12 paper pad from Knitwit that complements that stamp and die I showed you earlier included. We've got this incredible large 8 by 8 stamp. Looks like 19 elements in total that you can see here. And when I showed it earlier, I did actually forget as well, you've got some crafter companion badges as well in total here. So all of that is what one lucky winner could be winning. All you need to do is just do exactly what you've been doing, is just commenting, and one lucky winner will be announced when it comes to Crafters TV during Craft Along later on today with Ben and also Jan. Right, let's have a bit of a recap as to what we were showing you on Craftfall over the past half hour. We've got our staycation stamp and die collection, 163 elements, £35.50 in the UK, $43 for you guys stateside. Going straight into the butterfly alphabets and numbers. Now this one is limited stock. Green on the screen. No, he's not out there. He's not out there. I didn't think Ben was there. 89. Yeah, he'll be flying in a minute. He'll be gunning for me, nicking his catchphrase. 89 elements in total. $52.17 here in the UK. $70.17 in the United States of America. Then we're going into Nature Garden Peacock Mini Collection with 24 elements, $21.57 here in the UK, $29.28 for you guys stateside. Then we're going into that awesome card that Jan just showed you a minute ago. This is our stamp and embossed everyday classic folder, 6-piece, $41.56 here in the UK, $47.96 for you guys stateside. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. Head across there. The day is not over, it's only just begun, as some singer said. We've got later on today, we have got Craft Along with Ben and also Jan as well. That's going to be 3 p.m. here in the UK, or you guys stateside. That's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Pacific time. And then later on a pre-recorded Creative Cravings with myself and Jan, still 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. 1 hour Creative Cravings with the both of us, as I just said. What's going to happen is after that hour, it's going straight in to Sarah and the USA warehouse clearance with Ben as well. I have had an absolute blast on this side of the counter. I couldn't imagine, I couldn't have wished of having someone better than yourself, Jan, to hold my hand all the way
Honestly, I have
through.
loved it, Crave. It's been great. And can I just say, well done on those presenting skills. He was a bit nervous when we started, bless him. But you've done a fabulous job. So yes, excellent. I've loved every minute of it. Thank you.
Oh, bless you, Jan. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I just love Jan to bits. Love you all to bits as well. I will see you tomorrow morning for Wake Up Call with Craig. Throwback Thursday, so another chance to win a voucher if you want. Of course you want. We'll tell you all about that tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow. Jan and Ben will see you later on for a craft along, and I will see you then. Bye.